The waves never stop here. Day and night, the ocean breathes against the shoreline, carving cliffs, shaking mangroves, and carrying the scent of salt deep into the wind. And above those restless waters lives a bird unlike almost any other on Earth. A bird with a wingspan wider than most humans are tall. A throat that works like a living fishing net. And a hunting style so dramatic, it looks almost impossible. This is the life of the brown pelican. And every giant in the sky begins as something impossibly small. Far from crowded beaches and fishing boats, a small pelican colony gathers on a windswept island near the sea. There are no trees here tall enough for safety. Only sand, tangled branches, salty wind, and instinct passed down through generations. A mother pelican settles into her nest beside her mate. Together, they carefully arrange sticks, seaweed, and dry grass into a shallow bowl. Soon, 2 pale eggs rest beneath them, tiny, fragile, the future rulers of this coastline. But life beside the ocean is never peaceful for long. Strong winds whip across the colony. Salt spray crashes over the rocks, and hungry eyes are always watching. Above the shoreline, gulls circle endlessly. Gulls are the opportunists of the coast, loud, clever, and always searching for an easy meal. If a pelican parent leaves the nest unguarded for even a moment, an egg can disappear in seconds, so the parents take turns. One guards the nest. The other flies out over the ocean in search of fish. Again and again, for weeks. Then one quiet morning, something changes. For the very first time. It can take hours, sometimes an entire day. But finally, the shell gives way. A wet, trembling pelican chick emerges into the world. Blind-looking, bald, exhausted, and completely dependent on its parents. Its sibling hatches soon after. Now the real challenge begins. The chicks spend their first days pressed tightly against the warmth of their parents. The ocean air may feel refreshing to us, but for newborn pelicans, cold wind can be deadly. So the adults shield them beneath giant wings. The chicks are hungry almost constantly. And that means the parents must fish non-stop. Out over the water, the coastline explodes with life. Schools of silverfish flash beneath the surface like liquid mirrors. Anchovy and sardines move together in massive, synchronized groups, twisting so quickly. They resemble a single living creature. But where there are fish, there are hunters. Terns dive like arrows. Cormorants vanish underwater like sea serpents. And pelicans glide above them all. Calm, patient, almost prehistoric. When the parent returns to the nest, the chicks immediately become frantic. Because pelicans don't feed their babies the way most birds do. Instead, The chicks push their heads directly into the parent's enormous throat pouch. It looks strange, almost unbelievable, like reaching into a living backpack full of fish. Inside that stretchy pouch is partially digested seafood, carried all the way from the ocean. And that famous pouch? It's one of the greatest tools anywhere in the bird world. Flexible, expandable, shock-resistant, built for survival beside the sea. Weeks pass. The chicks grow fast. Soft gray down begins replacing the bare skin.
Their oversized beaks become more noticeable each day. Honestly, young pelicans look a little awkward.
Like birds assembled too quickly without instructions. But every strange feature has a purpose, especially that giant bill. Because one day, they'll need it to master one of the most difficult fishing techniques in nature. Out beyond the surf, adult pelicans are already hunting, and the young birds are watching carefully.
A pelican spots movement below. For one brief second, it folds its wings.
Then suddenly, it drops from the sky, straight into the ocean. The impact is explosive. Water erupts in every direction. But hidden beneath the feathers are tiny air sacs, acting like natural cushions, helping absorb the force of the crash. Underwater, the pouch expands instantly, scooping up fish and gallons of seawater at the same time. Then the pelican lifts its head, drains the water, and swallows the fish whole.
Simple, efficient, almost absurdly effective. And soon, the young pelicans will have to try it themselves.
But the ocean doesn't hand out second chances easily. One storm can change everything. Dark clouds roll across the horizon. The wind sharpens. Waves slam violently into the shoreline. Young pelicans struggle to stay balanced as the colony shakes around them. Some chicks panic during storms and wander too far from shelter. Others face hunger when rough seas keep adults from fishing. And danger also comes from above. A hungry eagle scans the colony from the sky.
Eagles are powerful predators, capable of stealing weak chicks if the opportunity appears.
Immediately, the adult pelicans react. Bills snap, wings spread wide, deep warning calls echo through the wind.
For birds that usually seem calm and clumsy, pelicans can become surprisingly fierce when protecting their young.
As summer advances, the chicks transform. The fluffy gray babies are gone. Now they stand taller, stronger, and endlessly curious. They flap constantly. Practice hops become short glides. Short glides become rough landings, and rough landings become confidence. Eventually, one young pelican reaches the edge of the colony. The wind rises beneath its wings. For a moment, it hesitates. Then it jumps. Not gracefully, not perfectly, but it's flying.
For the first time in its life, the young pelican leaves the safety of the nest behind and joins the endless air above the sea.
Learning to fish is another story entirely. Early attempts are messy. A few young pelicans seem genuinely offended that the ocean refuses to cooperate. But failure is part of the process. The adults continue demonstrating every day. Glide, spot, fold, dive. Again, 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 until finally, success. One small fish caught alone. Not much by human standards. But for a young pelican, it means independence. Soon, the juvenile begins traveling farther along the coastline with the flock.
Pelicans are incredibly social birds. They fish together, rest together, travel together.
Sometimes entire groups fly low over the ocean in perfect formation, barely inches above the waves, using invisible air currents rising from the water. They can glide for astonishing distances without flapping.
From below, they almost seem weightless, like the ocean itself has learned how to fly.
By the end of its first year, the young pelican is no longer helpless. It knows the rhythm of tides, the smell of approaching storms, the shape of fish schools beneath dark water. And somewhere deep inside that strange-looking bird, ancient instincts continue guiding every movement. The same instincts that carried pelicans across Earth's coastlines for millions of years. Through hurricanes, through changing oceans, through a world constantly in motion,